right. Good evening, one and all. Welcome to today's live. Hey, what is it? We are now in June. Wow, the year is running like a wildfire, man. It's like it wants to run out of control. June 16 already. Oh my God. So we are smack in the middle of the year, smack in the middle of this month called June. Today being June 16. And in another few days, we'll be celebrating a very special holiday in America. In America, and it's starting to like take on also throughout the rest of the world. And let me see here. I want to do something. Yeah. All right. I think everybody is pretty much logged on. I just want to make sure that everybody's able to see me. All right, and I think we are pretty much logged on in every quarters. Right. So here I'm again. I just getting a little bit of late start this evening. I think I started about 4 minutes late, but I deliberately did that because the system was doing something funny, and I rather to take the 5 minutes out of the beginning and get it right. So I kind of just rebooted, and I think it's much better now. So, yes, welcome. I'm looking forward to having a good meeting this evening. But as usual, I like to start off with my theme, my starting theme song, and here we go with that first.
To Under the Spotlight. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Thanks to those who have already joined our channel. And we look forward to those who will in the days ahead. As we turn on the spotlight, here is your host, Stafford Perkins.
All right, good evening, one and all. Welcome. Thank you for those. I see a few people have joined already. And I am trying to get myself steadied up in this race this evening because I got a little bit of late start. And then, but I think I'm catching up now. I am. So this evening we had to return, or I had to return to this saga of the man they call Markie British. Because Markie British is now posing the nation a major, um, what you want to say? It's a major question, a crisis of his own making. And I tell you, it is very strange. What I want to do, to get started, I'm going to call him my AI, to give a little report so that I can go out and send out some invitations. So just hang with me. Let me do this. I think I should do another thing. Yeah, let me just go straight to this AI report. Uh, in fact, you know what? Let me do my other promo, and then I come back to the AI report. So give more people a chance to come in. All right, and then I'm.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Also, hit the notification bell. You will be notified each time a new presentation begins. We now return to Stafford Perkins in the spotlight.
All right, I feel like I'm getting a little steadier and steadier on my bicycle here because, as I said, I got a late start. I was, got some setback with something I was doing, and it kind of just threw me off a bit. But I'm catching up. All right, so what I'm going to do, again, we're going to be staying with the Mark Golding situation. Every time I come, I always pull at least one or two new points along, and there are some things that cropped up in the last few days, especially the one with, say, Julian Robinson, and more things. Some things are expected, so we're going to be going into the Julian Robinson aspect of it. There's an article that I have that I'm going to feature also, not me writing it, a gentleman by the name of Garfield Higgins. He writes a lot, very good writer. Sometimes I don't agree with some of maybe his politics, maybe, but he's a good writer. I'm going to go to the AI to do a report. Give me enough time to send out some invitations. So hang with me as we go through this report. This is very important, and I may have to play it again too. All right, go ahead.
Citizens in Parliament sides with CRC.
Former Prime Minister of Jamaica, P.J. Patterson, has sided with the Constitutional Reform Committee, CRC, in its recommendation that only Jamaican citizens, and not anyone with dual citizenship, should sit in the country's parliament. The issue of citizenship has always been a burning question. Once the monarch goes, so must disappear any concept of a shared common allegiance, Patterson declared. In my view, and this is in the CRC report, which I support, no valid reason exists for maintaining the provisions pertaining to a Commonwealth citizen, other than a citizen of Jamaica, who is resident for at least 12 months, to be eligible for parliamentary office. The qualifications must be based, in my view, on Jamaican citizenship, he stated. The former Prime Minister made his viewpoints known during a reasoning on the Jamaican Constitution and the CRC's recommendations last week at the Faculty of Law on the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies, UWI. The opinion of the former People's National Party, PNP, president comes at a time when debate surrounding dual citizenship is raging across the country. Both Prime Minister Andrew Holness and opposition leader Mark Golding have publicly stated that they are in support of members of the diaspora serving in Parliament. But Holness has said no one with dual citizenship should be able to attain the top leadership positions of Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition. Golding is under intense scrutiny for his status as a British citizen, which he said he will not be pressured into renouncing, despite the increased calls, especially from the governing Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, for him to so. Patterson stayed well clear of those contentious issues on the current political scene. However, he acknowledged that the present constitution does allow for persons with dual Commonwealth citizenship to sit in Jamaica's parliament. I don't want to cause any confusion. Citizens of the Commonwealth are at the present time legally entitled to sit in the House or the Senate. I am deliberately confining my remarks to the constitutionality of any such position, Patterson pointed out. But Patterson argued that Section 40 of the Constitution, which prohibits allegiance to a foreign power, should be extended beyond parliamentarians to other sensitive and national positions. There are some positions that I think have to make it clear that allegiance is to Jamaica alone, he suggested. The former Prime Minister cited examples of positions that require utmost loyalty to Jamaica alone, including the Chief of Defense Staff, Permanent Secretaries, the Chief Justice, the Court of Appeal President, Electoral Commissioners, and the Director of Elections. All of these require further national scrutiny and discussion and would apply to further appointments, as existing conditions of judges cannot be altered to their disadvantage while serving on the bench, Patterson stated. In looking back at his tenure as Prime Minister, Patterson said he was confronted with the issue of dual citizenship when he was to make two appointments. The people disclosed to me that they held citizenship of another country. I told them, not putting any pressure on you, you have a choice, and stay where you are, or if you want to accept this position, because of its sensitivity, you have to renounce, Patterson explained. He said without hesitation, the individuals renounced their foreign citizenship and were duly appointed to their respective positions. He did not say what those positions were at the time. Golding has been on record stating in May of this year that he does not agree with the CRC's recommendation to bar certain members of the Jamaican diaspora from sitting in the Jamaican parliament. My position is that dual citizenship should not be a bar to service. That's my own view, and I think the party, PNP, will continue to have discussions on this. As I've said, this issue, we've, the PNP, not had an opportunity to discuss it because we did not know what the specific reform proposals were, said Golding then before he admitted days later to being a British citizen. Cabinet Minister, Senator Matthew Samuda, has admitted to also being a British citizen, but said he has started the process of renouncing it.
All right, I'm back, and I've sent out quite a bit of invitations, and so with that, our audience will grow as we move through the program. All right, so now, as I said before, that AI report gave me a chance to catch up, to get invitations out, and to get myself steadied on this bicycle this evening because I love riding. My exercise these days has been limited to riding. Which is not it's not a slow going type of thing. That's what I love to do mostly. So when you're on the bicycle, you have to make sure you're nice and steady, otherwise you could get yourself in trouble. So now we're here. And that is a kind of background that we just listened to. It might sound like we're going over the same thing, and it is the same thing we are going over. There's no getting away from it, because every time you start uh, the program or you're doing something, you should start from, if you want to get it right, you start from the beginning and then you build up again. You might not have to go through every last detail to get there, but you have enough that you lay the foundation enough, solid enough, and then you can just go. So that's what we're doing right now. We're laying this fresh foundation. Now there's an article that um, this gentleman, Mr. Garfield Higgins, wrote, and I thought it was such a good article, and I, did some preparations with it to get it, to bring some more perspective to the thing. And so one of the things I did was to go to AI and to run a thing through the AI, and I got a nice analysis on one aspect of it. And I'm going to be pulling that into the program. I'm hoping that people who are looking for me, I hope everybody who wishes to join has or have people who might, want to join. I hope you have found me. But if not, please share. And those who are here now, and tag somebody, because you can find me on Facebook and all that kind of thing, and try to get it out as much as possible. I'm not gonna stay too long. I know it's Father's Day. A lot of people, men being treated special today. I'm appreciating the way they're trying to build up Father's Day to be a better day, because somewhere in there can't be a family without a father. To bring boys to men, bring them, train them right and bring them to become good men, you need a father in the house, a father figure. We know that some people are trying to change the dynamics of what it is, but we're not stopping, and we don't really care what some people want to do. We're not trying to stop anybody, but we want to know where the traditional situation is concerned. We have to do the right things if we want to bring good men into the world, because a lot of times the problems we have in the world are just men, young boys who never had a father figure to guide them in the home, and when they go out in the world they don't know how to behave, or they don't know how to react, because nobody was there to tell them, hey, it's not everything you're going to jump on and make a fight, and you're going to fight, and next people lose their lives and all that kind of thing. So the father in the home is very crucial. In the black community, the family structure was destroyed mainly because of the drug epidemic, and the way the system looked at it is to incarcerate all the men, any black man, any young black man they could get their hands on. They would just incarcerate them, and we are reaping the whirlwind of sorrow on that one, because the black family structure has been disrupted, literally destroyed, and we are somewhere in there. We have to find a way to rebuild it. So, be that as it may, I had to make that kind of little public service announcement, because this is of great concern to me. And some people, women in particular, they would sometimes say they don't need a man around the house, and they don't. We do need them. That's why these young boys are getting into so much trouble, because there's nobody to guide them. Sometimes they have a man around the house and he's not the best example, but still we have to fight through these things and to hopefully get the kind of help for men to counsel men to know how to be good men. And I want to say big shout out to all the fathers, all the men, whether you brought one here or you brought 10 or 20, because these, especially these Jamaican musicians, they just think it's their duty to populate the world, and big respect to them anyway. If they take care, claim the children, or set it right so the children can benefit and get the best start they can get. So I want to shout out to the fathers and to say thanks, and to keep doing a good job, because you will see the benefit of your work. You have to make that sacrifice. I want to send out a special big up to my son, Dr. Shani. I tell you, this man, he has 4 children. He loves them. I don't even know if he loves himself the way he loves those children. And I always tell him. So for him, my son, as the Doctor Ashan, the man that just did well to fix himself up and set it up, but he's giving it up all, everything that he can give to his children. Last night when I called him, because I didn't get a chance to talk today, but last night I said, let's talk. And we chatted for a while, and he was coming from some soccer match, maybe about, 60, 70 miles away, and we chatted for a while. So him, and I hope all other men who have children, try your best to put yourselves in the lives of your children. It is very, very, very important. All right, so here we go. Back to the program. That was my public service announcement for now. So hear this now. The title of this article is Golding is Still a British Citizen. Oh man, boy, time is going to certainly fly. Golding is Still a British Citizen by Garfield Higgins. Now, he said there is a story. He started telling a story. He starts out by telling a story. And it's always good if you can do something, when you do these programs, if you can have a story to tell. It pulls people more into you and get them more interested in what you have to say. And I think I want to use Garfield Higgins's this story, this article that he submitted. It's a column, I think, and it's quite lengthy, so I'm not going to read all of it. But I've used my AI to pull things into play, so that you don't hear just my voice alone. All right, so there is a story. This is how it starts. There is a story of a man who walked along a cliff. He was warned that the cliff was prone to landslips. The section where he walked crumbled beneath his feet. He slipped. Right quick, he reached out and grabbed onto a tree trunk which protruded. He could not climb back up without help. However, he said below were jagged rocks and crashing waves. The man looked up and shouted, "Is there anyone up there?" A voice soon filled the surrounding. It was the voice of God. God said to the man, "My son, you need to repent." Frightened, the man hugged onto the tree even tighter. He thought for several seconds. He looked up, and then, with his characteristic stubbornness, he asked again, "Is there anyone else up there?" Because he heard God. Most of us say, "Hey, that's God, man. God is the ultimate." So we should be listening to God and following God. And there's a saying I remember during the 70s when Michael was doing his thing and the excitement of Jamaica. When the election campaign was going, there was a thing they used to say, "The voice of the people is the voice of God." I don't know, my PNP stalwarts and bigs and everybody who were there remember that one. The voice of the people is the voice of God. So, um, so he looked up again. He said, he said, God said to the man, "My son, you need to repent." Frightened, the man hugged onto the tree trunk even tighter. He thought for several seconds. He looked up, and then, with his characteristic stubbornness, he asked again, "Is there anyone else up there?" And he said, I believe, this is what he's bringing a little thing into play now. He said, I believe the leader of the opposition and People's National Party president, Mark Golding, is the political equivalent of the man in this story. Like the unfortunate man, Golding too seems to be asking, is there anyone else up there? Because here it is that he said one time he said he was praying. Next time he said he's meditating. Then he said he's going to listen for what the people are saying, listen for the voice of the people. And there can always be the question sign over when he's saying pray or meditate, because these are like abstract things or imagine things then, because faith is like imagining things to come, and faith, belief in God, comes from faith. So now he heard the voice of God and he chose to ask, is there anyone else up there? So here's Mark Golding, Markie British, calling out. He said to the people, I'm going to listen for the people's voice. I'm going to find out what the people are saying. So lo and behold, as we all know, this company named Blue Dot came up with a poll, which the poll is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. And the people say, hey, over 60% of them, 64% of them say, hell no, we don't want anybody in our parliament to be our prime minister who is of another sovereign. Of course, we have this big question about this Commonwealth situation, and people have put their own twist to it to say, hey, the Commonwealth gives him the right to sit there. And of course, people have shown him the voice of the people. One of the voices is my voice, say, hey, it doesn't go like that. You are not supposed to be sitting there because you're maybe it is true you were born in Jamaica, but you were not registered in Jamaica. And this is where you are having a problem. Because of the status of your father, you are registered in England. So some of the things don't hold true for you that you can be sitting there. You don't want to hear that. So now you're still sitting there, not answering, you're not saying anything. You're off on your own. You keep a little private group meeting and you're asking for something else. And every day you ask for something else. The people said, hey, 64% of them, every 6 person out of 10 said to you, no, we don't want you to be our leader. But you are insisting. You have people who will take up the phone, send me a text to tell me if I can prove that Mark, and Markie British is not supposed to sit in the parliament. And I've gone through this so many times. I'm feeling more now like the what they call it, Aflac duck. When he keeps telling them to say, hey, come to Aflac, come, and then at the end him just get mad and say, Aflac, that ad. Anybody who knows that. So it's me that I've been called now and think, and Mark Golding is still saying, hey, I'm listening. I want to hear another voice. And we gave him, he got the prayers, he got the meditation, he got the people's, the poll, you got Stafford Perkins, you got a whole other bunch of people, Karen Cross, son name, what's her name, Maroon Warrior, we got the Jamaica 4-1, everybody been telling him, and he's not listening. He's still looking out for something else. And so what Higgins saw when he looked at the thing is to say, this man is not listening to anybody. And that's why he wrote this article. I am going to do something here, which I also asked let me see the time here. When I get to that 20, I probably should do a break right here. And then because I want to bring in this other thing. So right at 9:20, 9:29 now, yeah? I'm going to bring in my promo thing just to try and get back on track. All right? Let me do my promo.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. right here on Just Jamaica TV. Also, hit the notification bell. You will be notified each time a new presentation begins. We now return to Stafford Perkins in the spotlight.
All right, welcome back. Thank you. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to play something here from my AI report. So here we go.
Stubbornly asked if there was anyone else up there despite receiving guidance from God can be seen as a metaphor for the situation involving Mark Golding, the leader of the opposition and People's National Party, PNP, in Jamaica. Golding's approach to his dual citizenship dilemma, similar to the man on the cliff, can be interpreted as seeking reassurance or validation from external sources rather than acting decisively based on the information at hand. Despite stating his willingness to renounce his British citizenship if the Jamaican people wanted him to, Golding has not yet taken that step, leading many to question his commitment to single loyalty and potential conflicts of interest. The findings of the scientific poll indicating that over 60% of Jamaican electors want Golding to renounce his British citizenship highlight the concerns and expectations of the public regarding their political leaders. The preference for a prime minister with undivided loyalty underscores the importance of trust and transparency in governance. Golding's argument that he is a Jamaican citizen by birth and a British citizen by descent, and therefore not legally required to renounce his British citizenship, raises questions about the moral and ethical considerations beyond just legal obligations. The discrepancy between legal requirements and public sentiments further complicates the issue and adds pressure on Golding to align his with the expectations of the electorate. The debate around dual citizenship in politics goes beyond the individual choices of politicians and touches on broader themes of accountability, integrity, and national identity. The public's response to Golding's dual citizenship dilemma reflects their desire for leadership that prioritizes the interests of the country above personal affiliations. In a political landscape where trust and credibility are essential for effective leadership, Golding's handling of his dual citizenship situation may impact his reputation and standing among voters. The public's perception of his decision-making process and commitment to addressing the concerns raised in the poll could shape his future as a political leader and his ability to garner support from the electorate. Ultimately, the story of the man on the cliff serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of taking decisive action and heeding the guidance provided, rather than seeking reassurance from external sources. Like the man reaching out for help, Golding may need to reconsider his approach to the dual citizenship issue and demonstrate clarity and determination in addressing the expectations and concerns of the Jamaican people.
All right, all right, all right. Let me get this out of the way and bring me back into view. Okay, so and that was my AI going through the thing, doing its own analysis on this thing that Garfield Higgins did. You know, as I said, it's not everything that Garfield Higgins would write that I would say I am a fan of, because he has a way of throwing some things into his writing that just, I think he cheapens it sometimes. You know, the things he writes, he will just bring in some partisan stuff, throw some partisan barbs in there, which I think if he would leave those things out of his article when he writes them, because he writes enough that some of it is not even necessary, but he just has to score that partisan point that he brings it in, and most of the time I think he spoils it for himself. I think he would win a lot more what do you call it, fans, you know, if he would just leave out some of these little, you know, nonsense that he will add to his article. But he's an excellent writer, and he keeps keeps your mind actively involved in what he's saying. All right, so I want to go back to his article and what back to Garfield's writing now. He said, "What say? Why do I say this?" That is when he made the thing that he believed the opposition and People's National Party President Mark Golding is the political equivalent of the man in the story, the man who is hanging on to this tree trunk, hanging over on a ledge, and down in on the bottom of it is some jagged rocks and splashing waves, which means if he's not gonna die on the rocks, he's gonna more than likely drown when he hit the water, if he makes it to the water. And then because so it's this is he's saying what Mark Golding is doing is hanging on to something that is not making any sense instead of listening to the voice of the people, which the voice of the people is the voice of God. He's not even listening to God, not listening to the people. And if what he's looking for is going somewhere outside of himself, somewhere around all over the place, maybe waiting from word from Buckingham Palace, something is going on. Nobody can figure out why is he hanging on like this. And the more he hangs on, is the more suspicious people become. And when people become suspicious, they don't trust you, and you're going to lose at the end. And this is what I think Garfield is saying. Mr. Higgins is saying. I think he was a lecturer at the University of the West Indies. Somewhere down there. Let me see if I can get to the back and say exactly who this Garfield Higgins is. He said Garfield Higgins is an educator, journalist, and a senior advisor to the Minister of Education and Youth. All right. So in that really a university, do some kind of teaching. But I believe if we just sometimes leave off a little piece of the little partisan thing, cut it out, and the rest of his writing is so good that he would just grow more in stature. All right, so here he continues after my AI report there, which analyzed what he said. The AI report went in and gave a very scholarly sounding kind of analysis on the thing. And so why do I say this? Nearly a month ago, Golding said he needed to reflect. Remember, said that? He needed to reflect on the fact that he's still a British citizenship. Now, he knows the truth, but he tries to bring these things to come cloud it. And then he has some sycophants, his followers, which to me they are not but sycophants, who, just like the lemming, as a friend of mine said, rushing over the edge, they just go along and keep repeating the same nonsense too. And he said he would renounce if the Jamaican people wanted him. And they said, yes, we want you to renounce. But when I hear nothing forthcoming, why him not the God talk to him, I'm not here. Him hang on upon the thing same way. Last Sunday, him said this newspaper carried the findings of a scientific poll, which is the Blue Dot poll, which noted that over 60% of electors wanted Golding to renounce. Isn't that the voice of God speaking to him? Today is 7 days since this article was written this morning or yesterday. So it says 7 days since. Today, 7 days since, Golding is still a British citizen. Why is he hanging on? That's what Higgins is asking. And he said the dual citizenship dilemma. 64% of Jamaicans polled reject PM with split loyalties. The front page of last Sunday's Observer read. That's what this was the title of last Sunday's Observer thing, which is what I did. I used that article, and I did the whole program on it. And the front page of last Sunday's Observer read, the news item was also noted. Golding has argued that he is a Jamaican citizen by birth and a British citizen by descent, and he has not renounced his British citizenship because, based on the Constitution, it is not legally necessary for him to do so. And this is where he's totally, totally wrong, and he has to fix this very fast. Because, as I said to one person who wrote me earlier, who tried, made some comment, and I said, hey, we'll just wait until Ibn Abdub and Vaz takes it to the court, and then I think he's going to be embarrassed at that time. Now, here's a little thing that is coming into play. The NEC of the People's National Party, National Executive Council, I think that the C stands for council, the National Executive Council is due to meet May 30. That's a fact. May 30, they're going to meet. And at that meeting it is said they are going to vote to say whether or not Markie British should continue. Now, most of these people are not independent thinkers. They were appointed by Markie British. Let me look at this clock and see. I want to be more on target with my thing. Sorry. All right. In another 5 minutes, I want to take a break again. So they're going to meet, and they're going to decide. They're supposed to decide. They're supposed to, at that meeting, they will decide whether Markie British will continue as their leader. No, these are people who are loyalists. Some of them are sycophants. So if it comes down to a vote, and some of them seem like to have the ability to analyze things, to critically look at things and come to the right conclusion. It's all about their emotion and their loyalty and who them say thing is. And so them continue to drag this party down with their stubborn ways, just like the leader, to say, let's fix this once and for all. Let's get this thing where we have this leader who is going to take us places. Maybe you have somebody in the pavilion, not necessarily. Well, you could have a batsman who's sitting in the pavilion. You might have a batsman sitting in the pavilion with the good abilities to meet the day what is required on the day of a cricket match. But because you have a captain or you have a manager, somebody who doesn't like that person or who thinks what he has is the best, and they're gonna stick with it. When if they would pull the man from out of the pavilion and put him on the team, maybe you would get a good result, or the result which a desired result then. So these people who are there, there's no guarantee that these people are gonna, unless they do it, as I said before, I think last week I mentioned it, that they could be helping to give Markie British a kind of a respectable way out. They might want to use that NEC as a way to let him out the door, let him out without the embarrassment, because he could say, all right, so I'm going by what the NEC said, and then he might have already agreed to say, hey, I can't go, because he has a problem that if he renounces, and some people know the truth on this one, if he renounces, he's going to find himself out of a citizenship. He can also play a little trick game where he pretend like him renounce, and then, as we used to say in Jamaica, whap it back and come and cancel out and then continue on the same nonsense trail. But he's playing all kinds of games, and we don't know what is going to happen. But one of the big dates to look out for is June 30. The NEC is going to meet, the People's National Party and National Executive Council is going to meet, and at that meeting, they're supposed to vote to say whether or not they're going to ask him to renounce. And because, from all indications, he can't renounce, because he will be a man without a state. He will be a nowhere man, living in a nowhere land, making all kinds of nowhere plans, and for nobody. So, that same song, it comes back to play. So he's probably playing it safe because he knows that he really can't renounce. So he's probably just hanging on for as long as possible, hoping that another voice besides the voice of God is going to come and tell him what to do. Because at this point, it would have been better for him if he had renounced and say, I'm going to try and get my Jamaican citizenship here. I think most people would agree that and could cry out for him and say, hey, give him his citizenship. But the way he's playing it, he's playing for trouble, if you ask me. He's begging for trouble. Let me see this, 9:40. Yeah, one more minute and I'm going to do my thing. So let's watch. That is one thing. Let's watch for the NEC. That is June 30. Today is June 16. Just about It's just about 14 days left. 14 days to that. 2 weeks for that meeting. Two Sundays, I think, from now. And then we should be hearing something. So let me do my station ID again. I usually forget to do this, and it is very important that I promote this program.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Also, hit the notification bell. You will be notified each time a new presentation begins. We now return to Stafford Perkins in the spotlight.
All right, so I'm going to go back to playing one of these AI report. It's pretty much the same thing, but picking it up from a different angle. Just bear with me while it queues up.
It appears that you have copied a section of an article discussing the dual citizenship issue surrounding Mark Golding, the leader of the opposition and People's National Party, PNP, in Jamaica. The article compares Golding's situation to a man clinging to a tree trunk on a cliff, asking if there is anyone else up there. Golding had previously stated that he needed to reflect on his British citizenship and would renounce it if the Jamaican people wanted him to. The article highlights a scientific poll that revealed over 60% of electors wanted Golding to renounce his British citizenship. Despite this, Golding has not yet renounced it. He argues that he is a Jamaican citizen by birth and a British citizen by descent, and it is not legally necessary for him to renounce his British citizenship based on the Constitution. The poll indicated that 61% of respondents believe Golding should renounce his British citizenship if he plans to leave the government, while 29% disagreed. The majority of Jamaicans expressed concerns about a prime minister with dual citizenship, indicating their preference for single loyalty. The situation surrounding Mark Golding and the dual citizenship dilemma reflects a broader debate about the eligibility and trustworthiness of political leaders with dual citizenship. It raises questions about loyalty, potential conflicts of interest, and whether holding dual citizenship aligns with the best interests of the country and its constituents. As a leader of a political party and a potential future prime minister, Golding's decision on whether or not to renounce his British citizenship may have significant implications for his political career and public perception. The choice he makes will likely impact how he is viewed by voters and his ability to lead effectively. Ultimately, the issue of dual citizenship in politics is a complex and nuanced one, with considerations ranging from legal requirements to public trust and perception. Each country may have its own laws and norms regarding dual citizenship for politicians, making it a topic that sparks debate and reflection on the qualities and qualifications expected of those in positions of leadership and authority.
All right, so we kind of just went back over that a little bit to keep, for those who might have missed it, to keep us on track. There's another little story that I'm going to mention in this too. I'm looking for a piece of thing here. Yeah, and I wonder if I didn't bring it over. I know I did. I'm not seeing it. All right, so the bottom line is right now, this TV. I'm looking for something which I brought and I'm not finding it. The bottom line is right now is that because of where Mark Golding is, he's now sitting in a position of, as far as I'm concerned, and what he's sitting in the parliament, and this is something that I want to just pop out while I find my other. He's an illegal alien. He's an illegal alien in the parliament down the yard. He's an alien. He's an illegal alien. He's an illegal alien in the parliament down the yard. I said, he's an alien. He's an illegal alien. He's an illegal alien in the parliament down a yard. All right. So that is what we are up against, where this man who is refusing to let go, and he feels like he has something he has up his sleeve where he's protecting something and nobody can talk to him. Let me just see who is out there. Some people have been making comments, and so I want to share the stage with them and tell them thanks for joining. So I'm going to go into this thing and talk, see if I can just recognize everybody or as many people as possible. So right at the top of the list, we have Sandra Atkinson Hibbert, and she said, "Good night, Mr. Perkins. Good night, Miss Sandra." And then we have Electra saying, "Good night, Electra." We have Avis, good night, Avis." And she said, "Haven't you gotten that Julian has confessed that he has said?" All right. So, all right. I was going to come to that next. And that's why I said, let me, do a kind of break in it to bring it into play. Yes, Avis, I'm coming. As soon as I go through a couple more of these, I'm going to bring in the one with Julian, and you're right on this. So Joseph Ellison, he said, "Remember, Mark Golding don't need politics. Mark Golding is not robbing taxpayers' money." Well, I'm not accuse him of that. I could have never do anything like that. While I know I probably could talk like that, but I don't talk that reckless talk. But you have your right to say what you're saying. But be careful. Some that we don't call cause there are some things there that I could pull out and say, but I'm just going to leave that for now. And so remember, he said, then Patrick Perkins, a man with my name, could very well be my relative. "Good night, Mr. Perkins. Good night, sir. Welcome to the live." Anita Francis, Joseph Ellison, have you heard of FinSac that over 40,000 Jamaicans lose their home? Boy, I tell you, that one is a painful experience in Jamaica. A lot of people, some people, I know people who died actually. Man, a good, good business partner of mine had a condition, and the shock of FinSac, he lost his life. Some even commit suicide. Some of them committed suicide. This man didn't commit suicide. He had a blood condition, and it was something that stress brings it on, and it just came on him, and he suffered seriously, and he died. So Markie British and his gang of thief rich from FinSac. And it Alan lecture, "Oh, you there tonight?" She had a lecture of something talking, and then Alan Italian again, she said, "I'm always here." And then, "Oh, must be lecture missing with her." And she said, "Oh, lecturer is saying, he's saying he's always here." And Italian, "You know what I mean, no class tonight." You don't know what that. Oh, you don't know what that mean. Lecture. Oh, we had a class today. And it, Alan Stafford, there's no fire in your program tonight. Please lift the thing, man. All right, maybe you want me to bring some fire for you. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna go to the let me. There's not too many more. Two more left. And it and say lecture me gone to my bed. Hey, Ali, listen. Annette, get back in the classroom. Electro, okay, good night, Annette. She gonna see me, I make trouble see me, she not gonna. So hear this now. So now, after we went through all of what we went through, I think because, sometime after a while you hear the same thing over and over, it can really become a little boring. But we have to bring the thing to say one of one of the critical part of this puzzle is that he's waiting now on the NEC. That's a very crucial part of it. Maybe just another one of his stringing us along, making promises, and he's not going to do anything. So let's hope that he something comes out of that. Whether he may stay, will he stay or will he go, that kind of thing. But we just have to wait for them. But then, as I think Annette mentioned, right? It was Annette, where she said talk about Julian Robinson. Now there was about oh, it's Avis S. Julian Robinson let me take this out of the way so we can see my face. I'm not hiding. So I'm going to just give me one quick second. I'm going to talk about Julian Robinson. Julian Robinson. Oh, yes, this one. So Julian Robinson, the one who sits here is quiet, not making any trouble, maybe the kind of person who Markie British loves, um, obedient, sit in the corner and speak when he's spoken to, that kind of thing. And he was there and nobody saying anything. Well, we heard that there was some other people in the parliament who have the same status like Markie British. Some of them might even have worse than Markie British, because at least Markie British can talk about Commonwealth, which is not helping him this time. I can promise him that one. You have some of them probably have American citizenship too. The sad part of that thing, I remember one guy, when his name come back, I'll mention him. I'm going to go there and try to think. Who had to step aside. Remember, there was a man who he got a Senate seat, and they drove him out so that Peter Bunting could get his seat. He's a very wealthy dude who used to support the PNP, but they pushed him out, and he chose his business. He chose his American citizenship, and he's out there doing his thing. And he lives somewhere. He does some kind of construction, produce construction things. So if somebody remembers his name, please put it out there for me. And so with the noise being made and everything and the excitement, nobody's saying anything, and people are saying, yes, there are some people there. Well, I don't know who remember the days when before they call it LGBTQ, when I think they used to just call it gay, and then the 1 month you'd hear one footballer come out and where them say come out of the closet, and another month you hear another one come out, or two more come out, and some big name people, Dan Lemon with on the TV and all, and they would just you hear them coming out of the closet. Well, somehow this reminds me of that period. What these people are there sitting there quietly, know that their status, that they are illegal, but they're sitting there and keeping the thing quiet, not saying anything, keeping quiet. That's not somebody putting something. I'm trying to get to it. Keeping quiet and not saying anything, and lo and behold, things start popping out, and all kinds of people are now being thrown out. So this past week, we heard Julian Robinson. He fessed up to say he's a British-born citizen. His one probably not, because I think the reverse for him is family. They are from his family. They are from from Jamaica, and he was born in he was born in England, and he come home, and what they said about Julian would, every time when voting time comes around, he would write the thing on the thing to say that he was born in Britain. But for whatever reason, the people, what I'm calling them, electoral officers, the ones who monitor the desk and who check him off and things, and probably didn't know the rules. They probably weren't educated enough about the status, people's, citizenship status. So they would just pass it every time an election comes around, and they would just shuffle it down the line, and we hear about young Matty Samuda turning in his thing. And here it is that this man who is like second in command in the cabinet, if there was ever a PNP cabinet, with the way things are right now, he would be second in line to Mark Golding. And Mark Golding would have to renounce or leave. He would have to renounce or leave. So two of the main people would be in trouble right there, already in trouble. So we need to hear what Julian Robinson is going to do. And you can bet your life that you're going to hear more of them coming out soon, like when those people gay people were coming out of the closet. They're coming out of the closet to say, yeah, me too. How many of them in there have that status? That's what is the big question now. How many? And we're not just saying it's PNP only. We have PNP and we have JLP people sitting in that parliament violating the constitution, violating the laws of Jamaica. These are supposed to be lawmakers, but they are lawbreakers. These people are lawbreakers. We people who know that they are doing the wrong, but they're sitting there and committing a crime. And who's going to take responsibility for it? Who's going to call them to books on this one? And the people, the regular little man out the street, him go pick a mango from over, him hungry and pick a mango, and him go to jail. Well, here these people committing a crime at the highest level. They are supposed to be the lawmakers of the land, but they are the worst. They are the lawbreakers. They're breaking the law. So it can't be just swept under the carpet and pretend all of the pressure is on Mark. We need Markie British. We need the rest of them to fess up and tell us what they're going to do. Are you going to renounce your what's his name? Julian Robinson? Are you going to renounce your British citizenship? You cannot sit in that parliament any longer without renouncing. And that the jail the people are going to be busy in the court, or maybe vast. Maybe we are hearing that on both sides you have this crisis. This crisis is on both sides, and the JLP is reluctant to act because if they go hard, they're going to be stepping on their own people's toes. And here the PNP not saying anything because here Markie British is in trouble, Julian is in trouble, and God knows and who else is in the PNP camp who have these kind of things. And they have to understand this is not something we can let slide. We have to flush them out. We have to flush them out. And they have to come out, every one of them. And don't come tell us that you surrender your passport. Surrendering your passport is not enough. When you renew your passport, it's more serious and dangerous because at that point you're renewing your vow to say, I vow to another sovereign. So we're talking now where these people who are in Markie British position and Julian Robinson's position, we are now at the point where we are demanding them to step up, do the right things, surrender their documents, renounce their citizenship, because the renunciation is a process. It's not just say, I renounce. You have some forms and some this and that you have to submit to them. So, and some of them, they're not going to want to give it up because of the benefits that they have to give up a lot of benefits too. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to, as a citizen of Britain, you might be able to fly out to go get some kind of special treatment. And if you give up your citizenship, you're losing that. You might be getting ready to go into retirement or close and getting closer to things, and you're entitled to certain social benefits. It's a serious decision that has to be made. And when you make it, there's a lot of sacrifice to it, and this is where some of the problem is. As for the Markie British guy, like all people guy, as for the Markie British guy, he might have some serious money in England that if him walk away and renounce, he's going to be losing them, and that's why it's making it so tough for him. So my money in the British, what them call them, the territories. So you must be careful of him because he have money here. He has money. It's alleged that he has money in Cayman. So if he walk away from that, he might run into trouble. So we are saying that it is time that Markie British, Julian Robinson, and anybody else, we know that Samuda saying he is in the process of renouncing. He was born in Britain too. And he said, I am renouncing mine. I'm gonna take my stand with Jamaica. And he's renouncing it. People like Samuda might be able to, after him serve Jamaica, he might be able to go back to Britain and ask back for him citizenship. But Markie British has a particular status that he can, if he should renounce, him can't walk back, him can't go back, him done. So him don't want to end up, him better know what he's doing, because him could end up, him have enough money all the same, so no matter what. And somebody, him can always go buy a visa, or him can always go buy a citizenship from somebody else in the Caribbean or wherever. Even the same Jamaican can buy a citizenship thing from. So that is why when I have to come back here this evening, I can't walk away. I had to go over that thing, the early part, spend a lot of time on the Markie British thing, because he is going after a very serious position. And if it doesn't, he's even more exposed, and it is even more restrictive for him, because he wants to be the leader, and the people of the country say, no, we don't want anybody with that kind of status. Yeah, I wasn't going to do a call this evening, but I will hold it for now, and just in case. Let me do that. I will come back to you, because, I am not so, I'm here, trying to get certain things done this evening. But, right. So we're saying that, what's his name? Julian Robinson, he has to, he has now fessed up. What made him get to that point? Is it that somebody was gonna bust out him his secret, and him jump out and give somebody the scoop and say, yes, I am one, and thing. I'm trying to see where it's in there. I can pull in. Yeah. so 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 that's it. Let me see what I have. Let me see what I have up in my bag. The trick here where I can pull into this thing here. AI report. I did that already, and I think I left off a report that I wanted. All right. Let me play the report with
was reignited as part of the constitutional reform agenda. There is no legal stipulation barring an individual with Commonwealth citizenship from serving in the House of Representatives. However, many Jamaicans are clamoring for individuals who hold any form of dual allegiance to be barred from Gordon House. A recent Blue Dot poll showed more than 60% of Jamaicans calling for opposition leader Mark Golding to renounce his British citizenship if he intends to become Prime Minister. It's understood that Mr. Robinson has declared his status on his nomination form when running as an election candidate. He currently serves as Member of Parliament for Southeastern St. Andrew. It's a seat he's held since 2011. Mr. Robinson also serves as the opposition spokesman on finance, planning and public service, as well as chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. Mr. Robinson has served as General Secretary of the People's National Party from 2016 to 2020. When previously contacted for his opinion on the matter of Mr. Golding's dual citizenship, he refused to comment. Mr. Robinson's admission that he too is a dual British-Jamaican citizen means that a future PNP government led by Mark Golding could see the two most powerful positions in cabinet, those of Prime Minister and Finance Minister, being held by dual citizens. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
tell him, Cliff Hughes really bring those young people good over that place. They really good reporters, and they read well and all of that. All them, whole bunch of them over there bright. Anyway, so somebody helped me out when I was trying to remember a name. Norman Horn is the man. Norman Horn, he has American credentials, American, I think, citizenship. And he's a valuable citizen in Jamaica, because he has a business in Jamaica, a big business, doing very well. And he was in the Senate, and he was driven out of the Senate by these same scoundrels who have taken over the PNP today. And they drove Norman Han out of Dodge. I remember, they took him to court and pushed him out. This is why I don't understand with what is going on today. Why these people who are there now and with Massa with Markie British Massa Massa Picnic. Why they find it so hard? You know, to say no. If you have that status, you shouldn't sit in there. I listen to. I don't want to sound like I'm beating up on him, but truth is truth. I listened to a clip with Damian Crawford. Damian Crawford was asked if he agrees, if he would, would be, what would he do or something, and or if Markie British should leave or should renounce. Yeah. And he couldn't answer. He kept, I mean, come on. You're grown people. I hear, what a beautiful queen name? Lisa. And Cliff Hughes asked her the same question. And it's like, everybody's so scared. What are we so afraid of? Why are these people so scared? Are these people that dangerous? Are the people who are now in control of the PNP, are they that dangerous? I've never seen the PNP in this condition where people are afraid to express themselves. You know, I can understand during the politics of the 70s when if you're a PNP and you wear an orange shirt and you go to the street, you're likely to lose it. And if you wear a green shirt in a community and you're a labourite and you wear a green shirt and you go in some community, you're likely to lose it. But I see the people, I'm afraid of them own party. Afraid. Don't want to say nothing. Scared as hell. The thing the man is doing wrong and nobody wants to say anything. Nobody wants to stand up, to step up and take responsibility and show some leadership spunk. Everybody's so, no, I don't know. And we're going to take a poll. What poll? Poll don't have anything to do with it. Them and them are waiting for poll. This one waiting for a poll. What poll? Tell the man the truth. If the court say, or if the Constitution say, that is how it should be, then that's how it should be. I'm not the writer of the Constitution, but as a parliamentarian or somebody who aspires to be a parliamentarian or an ex-parliamentarian, and you say you're in that place writing laws, helping to write laws, then you need to know you should be studying the Constitution. That is your Bible, the Constitution, and you should be able to answer what the Constitution says. This is what the Constitution says, and this is what I believe, because the Constitution is the Bible of the Parliament. So what is this thing where people so scared of? Who? Mr. Duppy Conqueror? Mr. Bullbucker? Who is he? Why so much people so scared of them? Who are they? Why don't you tell us the truth that we have some dangerous people wanting to take over Jamaica? We have some very dangerous people. And that is what I am waiting for. Let me do a thing before I'm going to bring in if Peter's still there, but him there patiently waiting. Let me do a promo on this.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Also, hit the notification bell. You will be notified each time a new presentation begins. We now return to Stafford Perkins in the spotlight.
All right. Yeah, welcome back. I should look if anybody say, and Jamaica no need massa background. And didn't I tell you guys Annette not going anywhere? And Jamaica, she said Jamaica no need no massa background. Tapanaris, Mark neither. Finsack is Mark Bowling baby. Electro. Okay, good night, Annette. She not gonna when I tell you Electro, me know her, you know, you think she love the excitement. And she know at some point me gotta just open up and start talking with it. So, Peter, are you still there?
I'm here, Mr. Perkins.
Hold on. Let me get you upon a situation where we can hear you. Wait there. All right. All right, Peter. I had it on mute or something like that. What's your contribution? You're a lawyer, call on to the thing and contributor to the thing. What's your
Mr. Perkins, first, let me just wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. I want to make sure so that we all, show love and respect to all of the men and fathers who have been doing the right thing by their families. That's the first thing. The second thing is, Mr. Perkins, I know, and I told it before, Mr. Perkins, the PNP has become a cult. It has ceased being a party and has now become a cult.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They're not doing the normal things of a party. This kind of scandal with Markie British coming out and refusing to give up his British titles, refusing to put Jamaica first. A normal party, Mr. Perkins, would have gone and said, yo, we're dumping you, you're done.
Yeah.
All of the members of people in the parliament would have gone to the GG and said, Governor General, we have lost faith in the opposition leader, we're going to replace him. But somehow or another, the Buntings, the Brown Birds.
Well, don't even call Bunting's name in this one, because Bunting is not in the parliament. Well, I'm in the Senate, but I'm not in the House of Representatives. So it's the Brown Burks, the Lisa Hanna, the Phillips and son, all of them need to put an end to the thing. All of them, if they mean Jamaica any good. And
so, Mr. Perkins, isn't it obvious? It's obvious even to the blind, Even the blind can say this one, Sooner or later, the crime minister is going to come out and he's going to sit either Warmington or Vals and Markie British, and they're going to go straight to the court. And once that thing gets into the court, Mr. Perkins, all bets are off.
But I'm going to tell you something more critical and something more interesting that I see. I saw a little report came out a week or so ago, and the report was showing you the people who, if Markie British was to step aside, and they're showing you who are the likely successors. And I remember they said that put Philip Palwell out because them do that number on Philip Palwell. So they say he's too damaged. Then they said Damon Crawford wasn't ready. For some strange reason, they never mentioned Lisa. They said they think Damon wasn't ready. And then they came up with this name, Julian Robinson, and said Julian has some of the qualities and thing. But but from the mention it, we see where Julian's name Julian got pushed out in the spotlight then. To say, hey, it was a thing. So and what hold on one second. You said the whole what you just said a while ago about this cultish type behavior. The cult master, we know the cult master. It's not even Massab. It's not even Massab. Markie British. There's a cult master in there. The one who called himself is a Machiavellian. And I'm in there, and they are vicious when them do them thing. And the way they work on you, they destroy your character, them destroy your health, them destroy a whole heap of things. And I'm wondering that they knew that Julian was one who people were now putting up as a possible replacement. I tell you, I have somebody, I spoke to the person this week. I have a person there that I'm just watching the game, and when them start putting them out, we are going to have to go in there and pull out somebody and say, hey, put this person in charge and we will go. We will follow behind this person. And there's a person there that I am holding in my back pocket, as we used to say in the earlier days, to say, I will push that one forward. But we need to start looking at some of the alternatives, because some of them will never make it, because the people of Jamaica will forever remember this dark period, because that's why they don't forget the 70s, people have not forget, all who never born yet hear about it, and them not forget the 70s. If you mention the 70s, people probably break out in cold sweat, because that was a dangerous period. This period of this, where them have terrorized people and hold them down, people are not going to forget it. Go on and talk again.
Mr. Perkins, I'm glad that you're illuminating and elucidating the problem that the Jamaican public is encountering. And you know something, when you think about it, it could be this very same Markie British and his crew, who come out and try to knock out Julian Robinson
I think they did it deliberately. I'm telling you, because this guy was there, sitting there quietly, minding his own business, biding his time, and right now he will never be prime minister because they're going to put it in the constitution. He will never be prime minister. The new constitution, the rewriting of the constitution, that is what PJ Patterson said. No foreigner must become prime minister.
Yeah, but then why they pushing him, Mr. Perkins?
Well, I'm done. You understand what I'm saying? You're missing the point. I mean, he's now done. Him can't go nowhere again. Him done. Him off. He's a piece of chess. He's what them call them, the little chess thing them where you just knock them out and throw them off of the board.
It's a pawn, Mr.
Pawn.
Perkins. Pawn.
Yeah. Him is just a pawn and get knocked off of the board now.
He's done.
He's done. That is what I'm saying. And that is what the chief cult leader, the chief one, that's how he plays. He destroys you. Them destroy Philip Palwell, them destroy Peter Phillips. Frankly speaking, it's either to get this party back on track, they are going to have to move out this cult leader. They are going to have to ask Peter Phillips or even the same PJ Patterson to come into the party. PJ might have to come out of retirement and go settle down this party. They might have to do it. You remember this man, I think it's Malaysia. You go to that east, what do you call it, Far East thing. I think it's a Malaysian leader who, when he left and he went off almost, man's name is almost on the tip of my tongue. He went off into retirement. I think the man must have turned 90 or something like that. And the party was going through a kind of, breakdown like the PNP is going through. And that man came out of retirement and he led that country in his 90s and brought it back. So, PJ, you don't reach 90 yet. I'm see you and you look good. So you still can come back, come settle down this party, put it back on track. Because somebody has to come in here where people respect, and you have that respect right now. So, sir, you be on standby. The next best person to me is Peter Phillips to come back inside there and settle the party down and then have an election and then hand it back over. Go on, talk again.
Mr. Perkins, but if them want them two black one, as I said before, them have a lot of Caucasians in England and can go through, They always talk.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not even going to make no joke about that one. Because we said, when I want it'll come with a new constitution written that you can't be no foreigner. And PJ don't lay that down and them have said, I think the other side agree, no foreigner. The way it is right now, if the constitution is not changed, you might be able to get away with it, but it's not going to happen again. They're going to change it. So you can't be no foreigner and come in here.
Mr. Perkins, these people are cultists, Mr. Perkins. They don't care what's best for Jamaica.
No, it's not. Remember one thing now, it's not just one side, it's not just the PNP, when it comes to the constitution, it's both sides. And I think, whoever is gonna try and outfox the other one, you could get a good result out of the thing. So I'm not gonna say I think that when that constitutional reform thing is finished, those people who have the British or American or whatever you come from, you can't be no prime minister again. That's what they're trying to say. It shouldn't be, and it shouldn't happen. I believe that is going to be the law of the land.
Well, Mr. Perkins, I hope and pray so you're right. And I hope and pray so you're right. Because the way something is going right now, with the way the PNP party is sticking on to this man like a glue trap, like a fly stuck to a glue trap, Mr. Perkins. Like a big rat trap. We don't understand what's wrong with the PNP. It's a party we love, but we don't understand them, Mr. Perkins. They might make their head hurt. We can't figure them out. Mad dog, mad youth. We can't figure them out, Mr. Perkins. Them just going crazy. Listen, almost a whole month. They might go through this madness. They should have done this man from yesterday, Mr. Perkins.
Well, no, we only have 2 weeks, We just have from this Sunday till then, it's 2 weeks.
Mr. Perkins, you look like you are expecting to come out and dump him in the 2 weeks, Me tell you say no. Me don't believe that,
No. Don't misread what I'm saying. I'm not telling. I can't think for these people and the way them think. why me not have that kind of, my brain have that kind of, dented or twisted, kind of reasoning skill. That what I'm doing don't make no sense. You will see it start, it a go on for like, what, 3-4 years now, and them still hang on to this person, and them still excited about this person. So, me not know, so me not take up for them in no way. There are some mad people, and we say there are some cultists, and the party is now a cult, and that I agree with, them is just a bunch of, is a cult thing go on. Them not real. Them not deal with reality. Paul Campbell deport him. Somebody else, Paul Campbell, someone deport him. Devon Watson, you is just a supporter of a criminal organization. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. He's a man of integrity. I want to try and say he's a man of integrity. Yes, Sir P, what is your take on the dual citizenship? No, listen, let me tell you, Patrick, I am a person, I live where I live in America. I said this before, I can't get a dog catcher job in Jamaica, even if I wanted it. If the dog catcher job say, if you have American, you have a citizen from another, what do you call it, sovereign state, I can't get it. The Americans, people in America, I don't know, Canada, you stand a chance, because Canada is part of the Commonwealth, British Commonwealth. America is not. Somebody can't get nothing down there. I probably would want to see where, not necessarily to become the prime minister. And I think I would even go for it for even a minister, regular minister. But I would say, yeah, put a stop with the prime minister. I would say things like board members who sit on a board, because you have some people who have good quality experience which they have gained in America. Got people who know. I brought a man on this program before. Moon, Henry, I think it's, oh God, Henry Moon, who served at a very high level in corporate banking, and I know some other people, and guys like those. If you have a board, whether it be government or not, if you make it so that people can come, what they call, whether it be technology transfer or management systems transfer, the experience these people have, I think it is kind of foolish that you're blacked out. You can't come back there, come serve nothing. You can't serve on the board. That's a fact. So I would say about the prime minister thing, I would just say no to, because to be honest with you, I know people come and them learn all kind of craziness outside of where them come from. The British system had, they kept us in check, they held us down with these. They wrote the Constitution and gave it to us. So they kept us in this weird position where they say, if you live out of the country, you can't come back. And now it kind of come for by them in the arse, and they come. So I am saying, why I'd love to see the thing change where if it's even a school board or something, and I could sit there if I'm in the country and I come settle down in the country, I'd love to even can serve on a board. I don't believe in serving no board and living outside of the country. I don't believe in that. But if you have a lot of people who want to come home and settle down and and they're getting denied from it because they don't have the connection. As PJ Patterson said, two people came to him when it was his time, and he said to them, "Yo, you can't serve if you renounce your citizenship," and the person immediately say yes without hesitation. They handed up their citizenship and they came to serve Jamaica. And you know how long PJ served for? 18 years, close to 18 years, I think. So I believe that we are shortchanging ourselves by blocking out people because they have citizenship from everything. Jamaica 411 said, Markie British is the British great white hope for Jamaica. Let me tell you something. You see what that situation in Africa where with the French, I think, because they were so nasty with it and gluttonous with it, they have exposed what these colonialists are up to and what they've been up to. Because France got They had to kick them out of the country recently. Kick every Frenchman, take your soldiers, get out. In 3 countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. They had to kick them out because these people are just outright robbing these people, these citizens. People are living in squalor, in poverty, in filth, dirt, and France is stealing their uranium, taking it to France. France is known as the city of lights, and these people not even a single light bulb in the street, a street light, not even one, and they're taking the pop. They never built them a plant, they never built them some solar or anything. They gave them nothing, and they are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to poverty in the world. Niger is one of the lowest, like the second to last in terms of poverty, and they have gold, they have diamond, they have uranium, all kinds of crazy kind of rare earth metal them have, and these France was robbing the people, and they still every day France is trying to overthrow the people who have taken control of their country and trying to help them people to set it right. France is busy every day trying to destroy them, building up, trying to build back another base next to them so they can make trouble. But the people are building themselves up and getting ready for them. And the little young man named Ibrahim Traore. I tell you, that man, I can't, if I never love a human being anymore, I tell you, because this kid, him come with that thing and him not making them have their way. And it's the same thing they're trying to do to Jamaica with this nonsense that we're going through. We should not be going through this after 60 years of independence. Look at what we are going through, but all because of Britain. All because of Britain. Peter, if you have anything else, say it fast, because I'm going to be shutting this down sharply.
Well, Mr. Perkins, if we're going through this because of Markie British. They're not just only because of the British. The man has no honor. He is a liar, a crook, and he don't even keep him money in Jamaica. And yet the PNP rallying around him.
Yeah.
The PNP
hanging on to him. Hanging on to him.
The PNP fall on the knees for him.
Hanging on to
Mr.
him.
Perkins, why?
Yeah.
Don't we have enough pride in ourselves as black people? So
Yeah.
we have to listen, man. We have to be able to come out and stand tall and stand proud. What is wrong? What's wrong with them, Mr. Perkins?
I don't know. It's strange. They're strange people, and they say they want to be leaders. And I'm telling you, every day they make me more angry when I see them. But I try to be calm when I come over here, because they say don't be angry with not just your enemy, but people who you're expecting better from, because it blurs your judgment. And I try to stay as calm as possible. And then when I'm ready, I just call them out. But none of them not standing up the way they should be standing up. They just leaving the Jamaican people to the mercy of these, vagrants and vagabonds who come to rob and cheat and left people penniless and living in poverty, because we don't see when they should have been fighting for people to get proper housing. How many times you hear them call out for better housing? We see them. They one man come and say, take more tax from them, take more tax. After them already taking our education tax, and we're not seeing where the money is being put and giving people free education, the amount of money they have collected over the last 30, 40 years, and the people not having free education. Everybody. It would be better if we educate people properly. The same people who leave, if they were leaving with skills, like women with nursing, and they go off, and teachers, and they go off, you could teach everybody a skill. That when them leave, they earn money and they'll be sending more money. You'd see the pot swell even more. But, people with limited scope, limited vision, like the ones who run the football programs, and those who allowed the world is at playing cricket. There's a world cricket going on, and a T20. And Jamaica, who has have people out on the field, and the bigger of the larger of the Caribbean islands, we the leaders of the Caribbean, we are not in it. America, which doesn't even play cricket, America knew that they should get participating in it, and they're making money out of it. What is Jamaica making from it? Because somebody would never have the smart or the wisdom or the vision to get into the thing and be a part of it. And it's big money being made, because 1 billion people in India, the America with them 300 million, and people, they're excited because America is getting through. And when they go all over the place, and maybe 2-3 billion people watching this thing, and we could be making money from it, and we're sitting on the side. We send people to play, but we can't we're not going to be able to make anything from it because we never participated. What kind of nonsense is that? So you're welcome. Let me just tell the people and thank you all for joining me. Thank you for participating. You made this program worth it and interesting when you participate. And let me see if I can catch whoever somebody is saying something. I don't know. It's not showing up on my phone. I'm missing out on this. But let me see if I can see it on the I say I'm not. I see Garnet is talking to somebody. Garnet Hyde, welcome Garnet Hyde, and he's saying, "Who's messing with Garnet?" Oh, Garnet Hyde said, "Mr. Perkins, I don't understand your utterances in relation to Mr. Damien Crawford." Yeah, sorry, I never said. Well, I can answer it. I can deal with it a little bit. I don't know if you heard when Damien came out, and I was a big fan of Damien Crawford. Yeah, so not like a picking animal trying to think. I can understand. So this is how they become so scared of this character who's in the way and keeping back the party. That's so that they're not willing to stand up and say, "Hey, let's put an end to this." He said, "I don't understand your utterances in relation to Mr. Damon Crawford. Mr. Crawford is one of the best persons, or the best person for the job." And there was a time when I said that, but Damon has to pull up draw brakes on this now. Because in pushing him going down a banister, sliding down a banister with a rope, a prick upon it. And he need to stop and jump off, find a way to jump off before him get the wrong size prickle somewhere. Then him say, somebody parked him, say must deport him. I guess you know them I think they must deport. And some deportation might end up in it too. Who the hell knows? I say, I'm not, and then Garnet, I say, I'm not a supporter of Mr. Mark Olin in no way, shape, or form. However, the Jamaican Constitution allows citizens, British of Commonwealth of Nations, to sit in the Jamaican Parliament. Yeah, you can sit in there, but not when you have a British passport. You're missing that part, Garnet. He should have renounced his British citizenship. You can't sit in there with it. That's a part of it where he has a problem. And for some strange reason, I know why, because I've said it, he cannot renounce his British citizenship because the nature of that his status, he came in under the diplomatic thing where he's protected. So he can probably he can take the chance, renounce it, and then work on getting citizenship in Jamaica. It's not so easy for him, and that's why he's having such a hard time. And the kind of monies that he has waiting for him in England, he doesn't want to walk away from that. So that's why the decision is so hard. Just think of, I read that man named Mr. Higgins, Garfield Higgins. It's the same reason that he's saying he can't understand why he's not giving it up. Max Romy, you cannot deport a citizen. Oh yeah, then what thing them call persona non grata. If somebody, I think Shearer issued somebody's persona non grata back in the days. At one point I thought it was this lady named Millie Small, but after a while I was made. Maybe I was too young to remember it correctly. But Millie Small, a great singer, I think because she went out and talked some nonsense about Jamaica, she might have been issued persona non grata. But I've seen it where people got issued persona, citizens got issued persona non grata. So don't do.
Citizen, Mr. Perkins. I'm not a Jamaican citizen.
And he's not a Jamaican citizen. So don't get it as people. I don't know what you mean, but don't get it twisted, as some people say. I'm not here defending no Markie British or thing. We are talking about the right, what is right and what is wrong, and he has to answer. Again, Paulette. Let me see if I can say it again. Paulette. We're not even sure if he was actually born here, but let me tell you again how it works. Even if he was born here and the status of his father, you remember last week when we played that? Let me find it because I know I still have that thing outstanding. Because of the status of his father as a diplomat, he could not. I'm going to show you something. This is Markie British's sister's birth certificate, or the paper with them register under. And let me come close because nobody wants my face right away. The name of the person is Anna Louise Golding. That is his sister. She's female. Her mother's name is Levy. That's what Markie British mother's name is. Levy, same person. Mother's sex, female. Event type, birth. Event date, 1963. That's when his sister was born. Event place, Kingston, Berkshire, England, United Kingdom. Source, collection title, British nationals born overseas, 1880 to 2005. She was born 1965, so she 63. So she falls under that. Apparently, there was some change since 2005. But when you're born to a diplomatic parent, or even if you never had diplomatic parents, if your parents are English people and you're born in another country, you can claim the citizenship of the Britain. If you were born as a diplomat, the child of a diplomat, they cannot register you in the host country where your parents was at that time when you were born. That's why this lady was registered like this. She might have even been born in Jamaica, but because of the law of the Vienna, look up the Vienna Convention, because of the rules of the Vienna Convention, she cannot register as being born in Jamaica. You have to be born where your father or your mother come from. That's what that is about. So don't try and remember this thing. That's why it's not everlasting that you hear to say that Markie British. That's why we call him Markie British. That you think because him name Markie British, he might have even been born in Jamaica, but he had to be registered in the United Kingdom. That's a fact. Go look it up. And the next time when I get a chance, I'm going to pull out back that document again and show you to say, even if he was born in Jamaica and cannot be registered, it's illegal. Jamaica would get themselves in a whole heap of trouble. If anybody make a diplomatic child born in a Jamaica and you're registered in Jamaica, serious problems, major problem. You're breaking a convention, a international convention, the Vienna Convention. That's what Markie British was born on. That's why he's having such a hard time. That's why he can't just jump. Everybody can get up and say, oh, all right, I'm going to use my passport and give up my passport and that's it. No, thing going to be a whole different situation. All right? But anyway, I have to go now, man. I'm hungry. If I don't eat something before I start and I stay too late, it's just weird for me. So I have to pull it down. I want to tell everybody, I want to say, Peter, thank you for joining in and
No problem, Mr. Perkins, no problem.
adding to the debate. I want to thank all of my loyal viewers and subscribers, and I consider my friend now, Paulette. What about Matthew British? Yeah, Markie British is giving up his, but him never born to know. Him born in England, yeah. And you can, if you're born in England, you can apply, you can turn in the thing, and you have Jamaican parent. That is what the difference with it. He has Jamaican parents, and him can just turn in him thing, renounce his citizenship, and him go out in the and that's what he has decided to do. Max Roman, you can't deport a citizen. I don't know nothing, but check up on that again. Mark was born here. No, him born with a diplomatic appearance. He had to be registered in England. That's why him not registered anywhere in Jamaica. You got tear down every crevice and corner in the Jamaican passport situation. You are we call it the birth certificate. You will never find Markie British things in Jamaica. It was never registered in Jamaica. That's why nobody can find it in Jamaica. Again, let me shut it down. I need to go eat some. As late as it is, probably go eat some crazy thing like a cereal or something this time of the night. But I thank everybody for joining me. It was good. Some people wake me up and say, "Yo, you're so boring." I'm gonna think we jump back into the thing and really lift up and say, once we started talking about Mr. Robinson, once I started about Mr. Robinson, it brought back some things, some life, because we're waiting for the next shoes to drop. Who's the next one? Who's the next one going to come out of the closet everybody. Thank you. Let's do it again. We're gonna try to do another one, between now and midweek, and because I have to start doing it more often. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a restful night. Have a blessed week, and we look forward to linking back with you pretty soon. With that, we're gonna just go out with a little promo and wait for the thing.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Also, hit the notification bell. You will be notified each time a new presentation begins. We now return to Stafford Perkins in the spotlight.
Okay, thank you all. Have a good night. Have a blessed week. And with that, I am going to go out now with my closing thing, which might remind you of more, again, as to what to do and to keep this program going. And all right, so here we go with this. I think this is my closing theme. God bless you all.
Under the Spotlight with Stafford Perkins. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Also, hit the notification bell. You will be notified each time a new presentation begins.